Very tough day, and another one, unfortunately, that's 2 on the bounce for us. And similar situation, we won the toss, we did what we wanted to do, which was bat, obviously, and our top order didn't get enough runs, and we put pressure on our middle and lower order. Thankfully, Brooke Halliday once again stood up, and a couple others down the order, and we had, I would say, half a chance to win at the turn, with that score and a good wicket, sun's out. Against a good England side, you need more than 190. Same thing in Christchurch the other day with 180 on the board. You're not going to win a lot of games unless you take early wickets. We managed to, but the quality of that English top order just too good for us again.
I mean, your top level made a quick return trip from the middle, not ideal, obviously. What do you put the collapse down to?
I put it down to a couple of things. I put it down to how well England have bowled, and today in particular, Brunt and Siver to start with. But I also think, when confidence breeds confidence, and you get on a winning roll, that can just be a flow-on effect. And I think sometimes the opposite can be the same thing. However, I would say that all of these players have got and have shown in the past that they are quality players. I mean, we know the likes of Sophie and Katie Martin and Amy Satterthwaite have had a long tenure in the White Ferns and have a record to show that, and we just need them to stand up a little bit more. If we eke out another 40, 60, 70 runs, then we've got something to defend. The top of the order, Hayley Jensen, who's only just gone up there, has shown, I think, in the New Zealand 11 game and then the match in Christchurch, she's got what it takes. But you're always going to have the odd bad day, and she's just starting out on her journey there.
Obviously, 11 games in a row now, it's not great, but I probably have got the best players in the squad, but is there any room for movement there? Would you like to see any change?
Yeah, I forgot about that streak.
You're sorry to bring that up.
No, you're all right. It is what it is. Yeah, look, I mean, I'm not a selector, and I have full faith in the selectors and the process that they go through, and I think we have got the best players here. Well, not think, we do have the best players here, minus a couple of injuries, I should say. Leah Tahuhu, Susie Bates and Rosemary Mayer, who's become a bit of a staple in our bowling attack. So we are down a couple of troops, but still the best is here, and we can't, and in no way is that an excuse. Injuries happen. And we just got to make sure we perform better, because we still have the players that are good enough in the 11 that should be able to and will be hopefully turning it around on Sunday.
There's not much physically you can do between now and Sunday really before you play again, but what can you say to the troops, I guess, to sort of, maybe look for confidence?
No, I think we'll have we will have a good review tomorrow, and I think there's a run around physically. But when you are going day off play, a lot of it's around rest and recovery to get right for Sunday. But in terms of messages, it won't be any different to yesterday following Christchurch, and it's probably also going to be similar to what they heard in Australia last September, October, and even last summer when we didn't go so well against South Africa. But when that penny drops, we will be okay, and when batters are willing to bat time and create partnerships and to take the game deep, and when we can get some consistency through our accuracy with the ball, and string some dot balls together, we'll be okay. It's just not happening at the moment, but we see glimpses. It's just got to go for longer.
And there were some positives. You talked about Brooke Halliday already. A couple of players down at the bottom of the order, Jess Kerr and Anna Rowe, made some really solid contributions for you. Couple of strikes early, so there are some positives.
Oh yeah, and I think it's like I said before, there are positives, but those positives there needs to be more of them, and those positives needs to go for longer. So you can have a good spell of 2 or 3 overs and go for very few runs, but you know what, you've got to turn that into actually 8, 9, 10 overs. And again, that's what we saw from the English today, and they were able to create pressure and then maintain that. But yeah, Brooke Halliday in particular has been outstanding with runs down in the New Zealand 11 game against England and then back-to-back 50s, and even showing her ability with the ball. I thought Fran Jonas again wasn't too bad for a young girl coming into her first series. And even Jess Kerr, who didn't play in the first ODI, was pretty solid. So there are positives. But when you get 190 and lose by 7 wickets, it's it's hard to magnify them to the point where you're walking away happy,
What was the theory behind replacing, who came in for Frankie? Who was it?
Maddie Green.
Maddie Green, yeah, sorry. What was the philosophy behind that?
So I suppose it was just getting a little bit of balance with Matty coming into the side around extending that batting order and that power in the middle, adding to the fielding side. But in saying all that, you know, Frankie Mackay, who opens for Canterbury, can do a job for sure. But I think it was about rotating that team, and I think even, you know, now with the series gone, I wouldn't be surprised if there's changes for the third one on Sunday as well.
Just lastly, did you ever target him one when you decided to bet?
Well, no. I mean, we saw the game yesterday, obviously, with the boys, where there's over 400 runs in a 20-20, and that you feel automatically that it's going to be a good wicket. Again, the sun was out, boundaries are shortish, I suppose, but I always think to myself, you just attack it like par is about 250, and then you assess as you go along. And I think, you know, whether it's doing a little bit or turning more or a bit slower, then it might be a 230 wicket. If you get off to a really good start and it's an absolute belter, then you're starting to look at 270, 280. So that was kind of where we are, but it's all about the assessment throughout the innings.
Was it a little sticky, the pitch, or was it?
I was surprised at the little bit of movement early after seeing the match yesterday, but it's not a 190 wicket. It's a very good ODI wicket, so that is not an issue. We should be able to ride that wave, handle that little bit of pressure with their bowling, then be able to come through and dominate through the middle overs and post something around the middle 200s.
Thank you.